Hey guys, it says that I'm live, but I don't actually know if I ended up going live on the stream that I already scheduled or not. So I'm just going to quickly go over to Facebook on my iPad and see if that in fact actually happened. Yes, oh my goodness, this is incredible. It actually is working. Is it? Because I wasn't able to see, or maybe not. Let's see. Live on the stream that Incredible. It worked. Yes, it's magical. How are you guys doing? So I wanted to share a couple of quick bits and pieces with you today. Since it's Tuesday, it's supposed to be, Tools Tuesday. Yay! I've got a couple of them for you that are going to completely transform the way you put graphical accents on your lead magnets, on your website, on all of the bits and pieces that you may use. And I said accents. Now, when I did a session over at the WordPress meetup not so long ago, I talked about having all of these different tips, which were basically visual branding for non-designers. I talked about color, I talked about typography, I talked about images. And today I want to talk about a very specific kind of image, not your pictures. I want to talk about icons. Yeah, icons. And so what I wanted to do is to show you these two fabulous resources that I have for icons. One of them you've probably come across before. Let me just quickly share my screen. If you are here and you can see me and hear me, say hey. Okay, so I've just switched over to my screen, so you should be able to see my Safari screen that's showing something like free icons. Okay, so what you're looking at right now is Icon Monster. I'm just going to wait till the live stream catches up with me. Yay, it caught up with me. This is Icon Monster at Icon Monster, spelled without the E in the monsterpart.com. Now, this is a great little site because it allows you to pick out an icon. So you could probably search for it. So I could say, desktop, no. Okay, how about monitor? Okay, so I could say something like monitor. So say I wanted to have this one right here as an icon that I want. It doesn't have a lot of icons, but the ones that it has, here's what you can do with them. So I'm just going to go ahead and click on the icon itself. And as you can see, you can actually download that icon in a number of different formats. So if you were working in Photoshop, you could download the PSD, you could even download the vector file if you wanted to then take that and do something else with it. But since you and I probably are not going to mess with it in Photoshop, we're just going to have it as is. But here's what we can do. To download it as a PNG, I'm going to go ahead and click on the PNG. But once I choose PNG, here's where the magic happens. And what is that magic? It will now let me pick, first of all, a size. So right now it's at 240 by 240, as it says there. I can make it a little bit smaller. I'm going to go back to the same size. So this is great, like if you were doing like a favicon that you will put it onto your site. And then what I can do here is I can change the color. Yes, so I'm just going to go and I'm going to use my, let's see, let me go with my hot pink color. Okay, oops. Well, that didn't work very well because I didn't copy the thing properly because it has this in front of it. Why are you not cooperating? I'm live. Behave yourself. Yep, it's definitely not playing nice. All right, let me do this. That really worked. Okay, it's supposed to change color, which we're going to get it to do. So let's say I wanted it to be sort of dark-ish. Okay, now it's changing. I guess the color that I was trying to paste obviously does not exist. So I've changed the color, so I can obviously paste my hex code and just make sure that you use a hex code that actually works. And what I can also do is to say that I want it to be filled. So instead of just the icon, I can have something around it. So I can have a circle around it. And then I can kind of do that so that I can put it, so I'm changing the size of the square around it. And I can also change the color of the piece that's around it to, let's say I went with all black. So we'll do something like this. So in other words, what you're able to do is you can pick the icon that you want. You can make it the color that you want. You can play around with putting a frame around it, whether it be square or circular or just an outline like that. And then you can kind of change the size of that baby too. And then what you can do is you can then go ahead and just agree to the license agreement. Please read. And then you can go ahead and download. And once you download that, it'll be in PNG format, and you can use that anywhere on your PDFs or your website or anywhere like that. Cool? Cool. That is the first resource that I wanted to show you, and that can be found at iconmonster.com. The second resource I want to show you is like the first resource, but like totally on overdrive. And that resource is called Illustrio.com, as in like illustrate. Okay. Now, when you first come onto this site, okay, right now I'm logged in, so I'm going to see if I can actually log out. Okay. You can create an account, but you don't have to create an account. You can actually use it without an account. But when you have an account, it will let you pick out your color palette. So this is, again, nice big list of icons. I can do some searches. So let me also here look for monitor to see if I find one. Yes, great. Okay. So let's say that I want to use this monitor right here. Right off the bat, you can see that not only do you get that monitor in that shape, in that default, but it also comes in lots of different shapes. This actually reminds me of the one that Melissa Griffin used to have on her site. I think she probably still does, which is basically the stroke version, so like the outline, plus a slightly moved over filled in version of the same thing in another color. And just like the other one, we could get the same icon in a circle, in a square, I mean, you just have like all of these different choices. Now the colors, the yellow and the pink that you're seeing here, I pick those because once you create an account, you are actually able to pick your color palette. So as you can see, I created a palette and I chose that yellow and that pink. So I can now go ahead and create another palette, and I might call it second palette. Okay, and I want that to be my primary color. I want it to be, I don't know, kind of like this red. And my secondary color, I want it to be kind of like this green. I mean, don't do that, but you get the point. And obviously what you could do here is you could come and copy and paste your colors. And then once you do that, you can close this, and the same icons, you can now go ahead and pick out your different palettes, which I did not even save, and then be able to reproduce the same monitor that you were looking at as with the two different colors that you have just chosen. So this is just an insane thing that you can do. And then once you've picked out what you wanted, you can click on it. And then in exactly the same way, when you're ready to download, you hit PNG, and then that is going to download that to your website. I mean, to your hard drive, and then you can go ahead and use that anywhere you want. Of course, go ahead and check the license. I did look at the license, and it tells you exactly what you can do. You can use it anywhere. In other words, you can use it on your website, in your mobile apps, and software, games, everywhere else. What you cannot do, okay, you cannot take the licensed material and you can't sell it as is, or rent it, or sublicense it, or redistribute it, right? And you cannot include it in an online database, and you cannot distribute it as is. And also you cannot have it on a logo or a t-shirt, and it cannot be the main licensed material. In other words, if you're selling a digital product and that specific icon is like literally the only thing you're selling, then you can't use that. But if you're using it as just kind of, as you can say, but you can't use it like that, and you cannot. But you can use it if you wanted to do it like on a cover or as a little accent on a digital product. So that is what I wanted to show you today. I'm going to go back to the main camera now. Thanks for joining me on this little quick Tuesday tool, and I'll talk to you soon.